Hi everyone, we got a good show for you tonight. We have, it's as always on Wednesday nights right around 8 p.m. Eastern. We go over the Transformers Earth Wars news, and of course we'll follow up with some questions after the fact. So let's go ahead and get right to the news, shall we? First off, Ba Weep Grana Weep Ninibung. Will Elita-1 be able to save Optimus Prime? Also, a new Prime Corps unleashed soon, and a closer look at the upcoming new bots Elita-1 and Lugnut. The jaws of death, the prognosis is undeniable. Without external help, Optimus Prime will soon succumb to death's grip. Called by a force stronger than loyalty, Elita-1 has crossed the space bridge to join the Autobots for one purpose: to save Optimus Prime's life by any means necessary. Okay, so that's the background of the Jaws of Death event, and as you may have guessed from the thumbnail if you saw it, and from the title, I think you might have an idea what's coming in this event. It is an Alliance event this weekend, 60 prestiges like we've had a few times, including 2 weeks ago when we had Warpath. As always, you got to be in an Alliance, you got to be headquarters for, tap the event button. You guys are pros at this by now. Battle zones. They're sticking with the pretty standard battle zones again. We're not going with the flat 10 per battle zone, which I don't really like it. I'm not sure how many other people do. So standard battle zones, and here are your prizes. One little change from the last few events is instead of 6,000 points for prestige, now it's 7,000. So to complete it, it does take a little bit more activity to complete a prestige and to complete the event. So it's used to be able to complete it in 360,000 points. Now it's going to take, 420,000 for an Alliance to complete the event and get all 60 prestiges. So up for grabs in every prestige. You can see that's a Mark 1, Mark 2 Shark Attack, some 3-star shards, some Spark, and of course a Gnaw Crystal. Now, in the Gnaw Crystal, you have a chance at a 4-star, a 3-star, and a 2-star Gnaw. And if you've been following my channel, you know my luck at this. I'm probably just going to get duplicate 2-stars, if that. But man, I still would like to have a chance at a 3 or 4-star because I haven't got it yet, like a lot of people. You do have a chance for 2,000 Spark, or 100 4-star shards, 3-star shards, or a single Mark 3 Shark Attack. So, next up, this is the newest Prime Corps that's going to be coming along. It's the Alchemist Prime Corps, and that's what it looks like, and that's about all we find out about it. And I did not do my homework to see what Alchemist Prime does, what his ability was as a Prime. I'm sure it'll show up in the chat, but all we get to see is what it looks like. They'll talk about it tomorrow in their live stream on the Transformers Earth Wars channels, YouTube, Twitch, and wherever else they happen to be streaming from. So here's a look at Elita-1. We did see Elita-1 last week. She was in the little teaser picture there for the event. Plus, also they did show her off in the game in last week's live stream. But here's a little bit about their design of it, and you can see that they said they avoided her pink speedboat phase and went with the very cool Power of the Primes figure as the base. And last week I didn't have the figure, this week I do, and I will agree with them. It is a very cool figure, and we'll take a look at that here in a little bit. And then of course Lugnut we also saw in the stream last week. And I showed him off some pictures of that and the toy that I do have. And we'll take a look at him a little bit later. Now, they chose a different color. They're saying it's based on the Transformers animated color scheme, and it is. But actually, as it turns out, this is based on like the Generations version of the Lugnut toy, and the Hasbro version is the one that I have, and it's more of a standard muted, kind of a camo-looking green color, whereas the color they chose to go with actually matches the Takara version that came out right about the same time. It matches it very well. Which that, of course, the color scheme was based more on the animated show. So they're not wrong saying that it's based on the animated original. And they did say Battle Zone 14 is coming, because if any of you are battling in Zone 11 or Zone 12, you have found that it has been extremely hard since they led up to the Headquarters 16. It was about Tuesday or Wednesday last week, and Zone 12 especially got really hard and almost difficult. If you were a borderline Zone 12 and you were just sneaking in, you were probably not having very good luck. Even my teams, I've got 2 teams in Zone 12. They're about a little over 8,000 power, which I know is not a lot compared to some of the top dogs in there. But they're a pretty strong Zone 12 team, and they've been having a tough time of it this past week. And even the Zone 11 got a little bit harder too. So they've apparently there have been a lot of complaints, and they are coming up with the Zone 14. And they explain here, they said even though we released the Headquarters 16, not everybody's going to have a max Headquarters 16 right away. Although I did see there were some people who did get that almost immediately. They went and just dumped a whole bunch of coins and maxed out their Headquarters to 16. It's unbelievable. So they will be having a Zone 14 coming soon. And another bit of news that if you happen to be paying attention to the Transformers Earth Wars Facebook page, they've basically confirmed that the next combiners are indeed going to be Volcanicus and, I'm sorry, Victorion. I got the wrong V bot. I'm so excited about Volcanicus still because I've got the last 2 figures coming from my Volcanicus toy coming tomorrow. So we'll take a look at him next week. But yeah, it's Victorion and Menasor. Just like we've been speculating over the last few weeks, Victorion and Menasor will be the next combiners in Transformers Earth Wars. And there's a couple of pictures of them there shared on the Transformers Earth Wars Facebook page. Now, what we still don't know about Menasor is who's going to be in him. Because we know Victorion has 6 bots, if you include Rust Dust as the chest minion, which they do show here in this picture. But for Menasor, you have Off-Road and you have Breakneck. Now, the version they show here does have, it's kind of cut off, but if you actually click in there, you can see that's actually, that's Dead End up at the top, but that's Breakneck down as a leg. Why they've got Onslaught in there, I don't know. So this would be a hint that they might be actually having Breakneck, also known as Wild Rider, but they lost a trademark or something, as the leg. And Off-Road, will he be in there, or will it be a 6-bot combiner for the Autobots, 5 bots for the Decepticons? I highly doubt that's going to be the case, because they like to try to keep things even for both factions. So we still have a little bit of speculation about who's going to be in Menasor. What do you guys think? Personally, I think they're going to have Breakneck as the leg and find some way to have Off-Road be maybe a gun or something. But then again, they might have Off-Road as a leg to match what the Hasbro toy did. And the Hasbro toy also had Blackjack as the chest minion, and we don't have Blackjack in the game, so maybe they'll throw Breakneck up there. Time will tell. No idea when these are coming out. All we know is they're the next stop. And that's it for the Transformers Earth Wars news. So let's go back and check in with the chat, shall we? And a lot of familiar faces. I don't know how far back I'm going to go. Let's go ahead and go and say hi. Gen 1 Red Alert. Good to see you, man. Cameron Moore, Anthony Allen, Vincent Cuomo, Tyler YT, Alexander Rose, also known as Razorquake 46 from our alliance, Loyal Patriot, Jeremiah Goodrich, SPCP Ionia, I think I got you. Good to see you in the stream. I think you're a new guy. Blitzwing, good to see you. Royce Phelps, a lot of familiar faces. Warrior X, hey man, how are you? Melodor Casey, Optimus Prime on Transformers Earth Wars, good to see you. Thanks for joining the stream. Dirty Spot, check out the TransformersEarthWarsAddicts.com website. Dirty Spot runs that, and he does a great job keeping the news up there. I can only get to it about once a week. I try to do more if I can, but he keeps that up to date. So definitely check out Transformers Earth Wars Addicts. Actually, I think it's TFEW Addicts is that if you actually type it in. So Anthony Allen says Gnaw is awesome. He's got his 4-star at 49. I am so jealous, dude. 4-star. All I've got is 2-star Gnaw, and I got him to level 30, and then he's just been collecting dust. But I would love to have a 4-star Gnaw. Heck, I'd love to have a 3-star Gnaw. Gnaw is a good good bot. And so let's see. Loyal Patriot says Gnaw is impossible to get. Absolutely. No doubt. Tyler White T, yeah, he mentioned the Facebook page, and I got it on there too. Let's see. Hey Warrior X, I see you landed in a new alliance. Good to hear that, man. So I'm just scrolling through. Okay, so Cameron Moore says last event got a 4-star Sunstreaker out of a 4-star crystal. Congrats, dude. Sunstreaker is a very good bot once you get him level up, man. He's on my second team. He's like the anchor of that B team for me. So Night Pro Play is going to play Transformers Earth Wars as Optimus Gamer. I think it got split up. So cool. Good to see you, man. No new bots this week, Atheist Lego. Nice name there. Let's see, Anthony, don't have the 3-star Gnaw yet. Yeah, it's if anybody's got the whole run of Gnaws 2, 3, and 4, that's just amazing luck for you there. So, all right, so you want to go take a look at some toys? Let's go ahead and flip over to that. All right, so starting it off, there is. Let me clear some space for me. I didn't clean up my review space as well as I should have. But yeah, so there is Lugnut and Elita-1. These are the toys that the new bots are based on. When will they be coming in the game? We don't know, but my guess is probably in 2 weeks, because they tend to release a new bot every 4 weeks, about one per month. And we just got Warpath and Skull Smasher 2 weeks ago. This is the in-between event. Sure, it is a chance for a new bot for some people with Gnaw, but he has been out for a while, and for some reason they're keeping him locked up in those Gnaw crystals, and you can't get him any other way other than in these events. But he is a pretty special bot. So yeah, so we've got Elita-1 and Lugnut over here. So as you can see, Elita-1 here is looking really nice. I mean, the head sculpt is actually pretty fantastic. One thing I will say is I did have to do a little bit of surgery on her, because the feet, these little feet parts, were actually on the wrong feet. You wouldn't really be able to tell unless you actually stand her down in kind of like this stance here. Then it wouldn't fit flat. It was kind of at an angle. But it does make it look a little bit nicer once you actually get her set. And she does actually have quite a few nice stickers. I mean, they're foil, and some of them aren't placed as well as they probably could be. Actually, Elita-1 stickers are okay. The hunger stickers that I got were, some of them are way off. But she's got some nice things. Let me see, which one is it? Yeah, it's right up here on her chest. It's probably not going to be able to see it, but it says Aerial Evolved. And if you're familiar with the Transformers G1 cartoon, Elite, way back, I think it was called War Dawn was the episode. It's where the aerial bots got sent back in time, and they meet Optimus Prime before he was Optimus Prime as Orion Pax. Well, Orion Pax had a girlfriend known as Ariel, and they got damaged when the Decepticons attacked, and Orion Pax, obviously, as everybody knows, was reformatted into Optimus Prime, and Ariel became Elita-1. So Ariel evolved. It's a nice little Easter egg there on here. And yes, so she does turn into that jet. I'm not going to take the time to transform her right now. But yeah, so that's Elita-1. And then here's Lugnut in all his glory. And like I showed in the picture, he is always holding this Megatron gun. And that actually came from the Masterpiece Soundwave toy. And as soon as it came out, it went right into Lugnut's hand. And Soundwave just didn't have any say in the matter. But yeah, he's really cool. He's very articulated. You know, you can move his hand around. His mouth even moves. He can yak at you. His fingers are pretty well articulated. He's only got 3 of them, but they're pretty good. Here's something I'd like to see them incorporate into the game. Boom! His punches kill everything. That would actually be pretty cool to see. Maybe not necessarily that exact extending motion, but definitely it would be great to see. And the thing I like most about this Lugnut toy is when you do transform him into the the plane mode, the bomber mode, from all sides, he actually looks pretty decent. Because, I mean, if you were to transform Elita-1 into her jet mode, she just basically is a robot underneath the jet. Whereas the Lugnut, it really does, he's very well hidden. Part of that helps by having his entire tail section just hanging off his back, so that's kind of a kind of a cheat. Yeah, so there. Loyal Patriot says, "Why does Elita-1 have holes in her wings? Why not? You know, it's a design choice. Who knows? So probably just something to make her even that much more different than Starscream, which the mold they share a mold from the Power of the Primes." Now, an interesting thing, of course, about Elita-1 is because she's in Power of the Primes, if you notice down here on her feet, and they're hidden pretty well, but in her arms, what are those? Yeah, that's right, those are combiner ports. She is also a torso. Interestingly, her torso mode is very much just like Starscream. It just turns into a torso of a larger Elita-1. The head is basically almost the same as what you see on this toy here. But is just bigger. So, all right. So yeah, I do really am very, very happy that those actually are coming around, and very good toys to boot. Now, obviously, Elita-1 is just coming out into the toy line, so you got a really good chance of finding her. Lugnut has been off the shelves for a few years now, so he might be a little bit harder to come by if you were looking for him. So let's go ahead and take a look at the big ones. Here comes Menasor. Oh, he does not even fit on the camera, and he's going to fall over. That is one of the gripes a lot of people have about these Combiner Wars toys, especially the Menasor and the Optimus Prime, is they are a little unstable. And if you notice, I do have the Perfect Effect upgrade kit for him with the larger feet and more articulated hands. And of course, there is the Breakneck or Wild Rider. So let's go ahead and zoom up and see Menasor in all his Combiner glory. And yeah, so there's the Blackjack actually sitting there as his chest minion. Very much like the Optimus Maximus was with the Hot Rod there. And obviously in the game, they chose not to go with the chest minion, but they did keep the little spoiler axe shield thing. Except on Optimus Maximus, it was gold because it was Hot Rods. Whereas here, for Blackjack, it's purple. Yeah, so there's that. Hey, what are you doing? He's about off the camera, so. But yeah, and obviously, if you can see, this has more, his head sculpt is far more accurate to the original G1 cartoon of Wild Rider, whereas in the game they chose to pretty much just copy the existing Dust Up head that they had in there. Also for Dead End, they just kind of used Dust Up's head instead of creating a new one for Dead End. But his head's kind of hidden up in here, so we'll just leave him alone and move him kind of back off to the side there. Can't go too far back or he'll fall over. And yeah, like I said, I do have him in the what was the original toy with the Dead End drag strip, Motor Master in the center, off-road and breakdown off as the legs. And then, of course, for the Autobots, we're looking at Victorion. Her head doesn't want to stay pegged in. And, oh man, try to get her on camera with this massive sword leaf thing that she's got. But yeah, check that out. I really love to see when they have this sword show up in the game. So let's see if we can get in a little bit closer there on her noggin. Yeah, look at that. It's kind of tall. It's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit taller than you would see like in the Combiner Wars cartoon or in the comics, or probably how they have it in the game. But I think that's more just keep it compressed so it actually works in the toy. And of course, she's got Jump Stream here on the right arm. She's got Dust Up on the left arm, and she's got the Helicopter Sisters there as the legs. Storm Clash and Skyburst. And as with all of these combiners, they are the Scramble City style, meaning that they can really, all the limbs can interchange with each other. Oh yeah, and let's not forget Rust Dust right there on the chest there. So yeah, that's pretty cool, and I am looking forward to seeing these bots show up in the game. What do you guys think? Yeah, Alexander Rose Razorquake, he's already saying that even before I asked. Can't wait to see what they look like in the game. That's very cool. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, you guys are liking them, huh? Okay, very cool. Royce Phelps, fine candidate for Miss Universe, a full-bodied femme. Nice. Alright, so, man, I'm so glad they're finally bringing Victorion into the game. I've been waiting for them to show up, because, I mean, like, again, those bots have been in the game from the beginning. It made very much sense for them to be the first combiner as the 6-bot combiner counter to Devastator. Although I do understand why they released Superion first, because they wanted to bring out combiners that everybody was familiar with. Devastator obviously was the first combiner in Transformers, so he had to be the first for the Decepticons. And the first Autobot combiner was in fact Superion. Even though Superion and Menasor were sort of rivals, Menasor was the second one behind Devastator. So I can kind of see why they brought Superion first, even though from a logistical standpoint of a 6 bots versus 6 bots, heck, they even have a unified color scheme like Devastator. Why it would make sense to have them come out. Still, again, I understand why they went with Superion, and hey, Superion's cool, and of course Optimus Maximus, they're trying to push those toys, and matches with Bruticus. Of course, Bruticus is one of the most popular combiners for the Decepticons, and then of course the wonderful combiners, the most powerful beastly combiners, literally, in Predaking and Volcanicus. I can't complain about either of them. So, although I can understand people's complaints about Dinobots aren't supposed to combine. Yeah, that's true. They haven't until very rarely. Honestly, I like it. And so Jeremy Plays says you got a snarl. Oh, and he tried to he teasing me just like the just like the game, except it's just a 2-star. Oh, you didn't even get a Warpath. Oh, that's terrible, man. That's the way it goes sometimes, though, man. There was somebody's video, I can't recall who it was. He was probably 20 crystals in before he got even the 2-star. And the first time they had one of these kinds of events, the Hotspot event, took me 26 crystals. Somewhere in there, the number changes every time I tell the story. But like it was somewhere in the mid-20s crystals before I got this 2-star Hotspot. Even so, yeah, sometimes, and then there's other people who get the 4-star on the very first crystal. So it really does come down to the luck of the draw. So, all right, Warrior X. Stop being so mean, Warrior X. That's why you had to leave our alliance, man. So. Let's see, Sharksy says he's got 2, 3, and 4-star Warpath on his headquarters 5 Autobot account. Oh, that's good, man. You're starting off early getting some good bots with that new Autobot account. Same thing happened with me when I started a second account. It's just called Hoist. and just to keep it free to play, to see how that actually goes. And I've been able to progress a little while. I mean, it took a few months off where I didn't play it at all because I got a little busy with other things. But out of that account, I did use a VIP bundle. That's the only thing I got that was extra. I haven't spent a dime on that account, but that got me 5 premium crystals to start off with. And out of those 5 premium crystals, it was unbelievable. Out of those 5, I got a 3-star wind blade and a 4-star wheeljack. So I started the game at like headquarters. I don't know, what do you kind of get after the tutorials? You end up like headquarters 3 or something. Started the game off with a 3-star wind blade and a 4-star wheeljack, 2 of the most rare bots in the game. I just could not believe it. So it can happen. It's just rare. It's just really the luck of the draw. And then, of course, after that, it took a very long time before I got my next 3-star, and an even longer time for me to get a 4-star. I did get a 4-star smoke screen out of those crystals in that one time. That was the only time I got a 4-star out of that type of a thing, and it was on my free-to-play account. And just recently, a few videos back, I've finally collected enough shards for a 4-star crystal on that account and got a pipes, and I couldn't have been happier with that, except maybe if it was Prime or Star Saber or something. But pipes is an excellent bot. So it really, like I say all the time, is you just gotta keep playing. It's all about just grinding through it. Not that you have to play it to the detriment of everything else, but you do have to actually put the time in and play the game. So, all right. I'm going to start winding down here, but let's take some questions. Alexander Rose says, what is your favorite Combiner Wars toy? Oh, and then he goes and says he got a 2-star Optimus Primal. Very cool. Optimus Primal is a good bot. Even at the 2-star, I've got him on my free-to-play account. Got him about level 30, and he's turning into quite the beast. No pun intended. Or was it? But anyway, what's my favorite Combiner Wars toy? I really couldn't tell you. There's so many things have come and gone in Combiner Wars. I mean, obviously, these over here, Victorion is actually very cool. I'm very happy with that. And, looking at my shelves where I've got the other Combiner Wars. You know, the Combiner Wars Superion is actually a very good toy. It's the first one that came out, and it actually is one of the most solid combiners that they have out. Victorion and, of course, Bruticus and Defensor share the same torso mold. They're kind of wobbly. The Optimus Maximus and Menasor tend to be a little wobbly, but Superion's solid. Let's see, who else did we get? Oh, we got Skylinks. I don't know. Honestly, I'm gonna go and say Dead End and just that whole mold, because in fact, it's this guy. It's really very cool. It transforms into a very nice looking car. And even the bot mode, it transforms to a very good looking bot and pretty solid. And I like how it has this little flap in the front that kind of hides the combiner peg back there. So many other ones just a big obvious that they're a combiner right there. But I like these bots that actually have the part that flips over in front and hides the combiner part. One thing that I don't get is why they've got such tight ratchets on these wrists. I mean, it's practically impossible to get them out without a tool. So that's a little bit of a head scratcher about why they chose to do that. But yeah, I'll go with the Dead End mold. A second place, I'll give it to the helicopter out of it. Alpha Bravo. We'll call it the Alpha Bravo mold because he was the first one to use it. But we also got Vortex and Blades and Skyburst and Stormclash and see what we got. We got Spinister from the Transformers Collectors Club, and I can't think of any other helicopters. I think that was it. Let's see. My alliance name is the NonToxic Gamers. It's also the NonToxic Gamers is also the group of YouTubers and streamers that I'm in, and we're all about trying to keep a welcoming and encouraging environment for gamers. Trying to be free of that toxic attitude where people just are putting you down, and just making it a not fun place. I mean, it's a game. We're supposed to be having a good time, and so that's what we're all about. Trying to just keep it fun and encouraging for people of all ages and all skill levels. You know, whether you're just starting out or whether you're top dog, you know, you're welcome in the Non-Toxic Gamers. But we like to keep the language PG, so no swearing, and definitely be encouraging, and just be kind to each other. That's what it's all about. William Nerona says, very disappointed in the new Skylinks. The original was far superior because it walked and it made both animals and was bigger. I gotta agree with you on that one. I mean, he looks okay, but yeah, I was disappointed when he wouldn't split apart and make both animals. And yeah, there is a fan mode where you can kind of transform him because his combiner head was. His combiner head is a link, so there's a fan mode where you can transform him to where he looks kind of like the links, but it's pretty ugly. It's a stretch, to say the least. But let's see. I will say, even though I don't agree with him being a combiner, his combiner mode is actually pretty nice. It actually works pretty well. But I don't have them combined. I did it once just to see it, and then nope, that's it. So let's see. Cameron Moore asks, will Sentinel Prime come to the game? Probably not. He's a pretty obscure character, and if he was going to come to the game, he would have come last year or so when he was a Titans Return figure. He showed up in the comics for a handful of issues, and he was one of the first Titans Return Voyager figures. Bright orange, as a matter of fact. If he was going to show up in the game, he would have shown up then. And I don't see Sentinel Prime coming. Let's see. Yeah, Bobby Jenkins says, be active. Yes, that's right. You got to be active. I mean, you can be the nicest guy in the world, but if you're not playing the game, we've got to let you go, though. Any tips? What kind of tips are you looking for there, Jeremy? G1 Red Alert says he's got Snarl and Sludge a few days ago along with Ripper Snapper. Very cool. I got a box coming tomorrow with those guys in it, and Blackwing and Moonracer. Actually, just in fact, I got a few doubles coming. I just got the box of all of them because that's how they ended up being the same price as retail. So I think I'm gonna end up with an extra Snarl and Sludge, and I can't. It was kind of going both ways. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get an extra Ripper Snapper or a Blackwing. But I'm looking forward to that box showing up so I can get that Volcanicus formed up. Matt Fabian says the only 4-star he has is Cup. I got to tell you, that's a good 4-star to have. I'd love to have a 4-star Cup. 3-star Drift and Perceptor. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to use Drift. I think he's just going to be one of those bots that just runs in there, does a little bit of damage, and then exits early. Perceptor, if you go watch some of my videos, I did a video highlighting how to use Perceptor. I think it was the Shock Tower Hacked, I think I called it. Go find that video. Basically, look for when you're using Perceptor, look for the Shock Towers, especially if there's a bunch of defenses around the Shock Towers. People like to do that. They like to put the mortars and the lasers and the missile launchers within the range of the Shock Tower. If you can hack that Shock Tower, usually on the lower levels up to maybe zone 10 or 11, 2 hacks, it'll wipe out everything within that Shock Tower range. Perceptor is awesome if you can find a base like that. Tips on new bots, Jeremy says. Well, like how to get them? Well, there's really not a the best way to get new bots, unfortunately, really is to buy crystals. But if you can't afford it, there are still plenty of ways to get it. I mean, you just again, you play the game, get into an alliance, and be active in that alliance, and participate in these events. Like we saw in this one, we get 3-star crystals every prestige, and also you have a chance at 3 and 4 star crystals out of the Gnaw crystals, or you can even get the Gnaw out of the Gnaw crystals. Those are ways that you can get your new bots. As far as power leveling, I do have a couple of, or I got at least one, and I do it all the time, where you can power level if you have a combiner. But the other way to combine power level new bots is to use them in all of your squads, especially up until level 10. By the time you get done with one, it's only a short, less than a minute wait before they're cooled down, and you can go right into them with your second squad, and then they're cooled down very, very quickly, and you can go right into another battle with them with your third squad. And that's how I level up the bots on my free-to-play account, which I don't have a combiner on. Maybe I ought to do a video to show how to do that. Other ways to do it is if you have a high-level bot, you could take them into a zone with just that new bot. A lot of people do that with Cup, where you can go in and just basically a base that you could pretty much solo with one of your high-level bots, and then just bring in the lower-level bot along with it and give them a lot of XP. So those are ways that you can level bots, new bots. Let's see. DJ80 says he's Autobot at heart, but thinks the Decepticons have the coolest combiners. Yeah, I agree. The Decepticons definitely have the cool combiners. Let's see. Warrior X, if you're searching for a team but it says it doesn't exist, sometimes that means it might be full. Alexander Rose says the Ratchet solo vid made you laugh. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I was laughing while I was doing it too. I'd seen other people do that type of a thing on some Facebook videos. That's the first time I tried it. Actually, I was surprised that it actually worked out pretty good. Honestly, I was a little worried that he wasn't going to be able to get that done. I had my finger on the button ready to drop another bot to go run in there, and but no, he pulled it off. He pulled it off. So let's see. Alright, Jeremy's asking if you should buy a card to buy crystals. Only if you can afford it, dude. Only if you can afford it. William says trying to level up 4-star Perceptor. It's hard. Yeah, at the time got a red. You'd rather have gotten a dupe because it ended up spending too much to get for the 5-star Drift. Yeah, I'm in the same boat, man. I mean, you saw the last video where I thought I was going to get this 5-star, and I ended up getting a new Jazz. In fairness, Jazz is better pull than Perceptor, so sorry about that. But I did get I have got opened some more crystals and still can't get that extra duplicate 4-star though. So I'm still waiting for that 5-star. Trust me, when I get it, you guys will know. Has anybody heard of a person who has a whole team of 5-stars? Yeah, there's some people out there in the Facebook fan groups that they don't show off that much, but they do like to show it every so often. Usually when you see the people showing that they got a whole team of 5-stars, it's usually somebody who got attacked by that person, or it's trying to bring down somebody who thinks they're better than they are. It's like, oh, look at me, I'm so strong. Oh yeah, check this out. But no, a lot of those people up there, I mean, they're just enjoying the game, and they're fortunate enough to have way more money than I do. Hey, more power to them. So let's see. Gave Drift a regeneration health power core. Yes, I've heard that is a good power core for him to have. If I ever get a 4 or the 5-star Drift, I think I have a gold regeneration. If I do, I'd be throwing that on him. Actually, I think I have it on Hot Rod right now. But I got no problem dropping 900,000 energon to move it over if I have to. Snarl is Where's Waldo? Yes, Where's Waldo? Absolutely. All right, Warrior X, dude, you gotta chill out, man. I don't want to have to kick you out from the streams too, man. All right, so we'll start winding it down. Bobby Jenkins thought so on the money thing. Yeah, no, the game players, the game makers, they got to make the money somehow. I mean, the other option is to throw a bunch of ads at you, and so I mean, for anybody who is playing the game for free, which, hey, more power to you, and it's great that you can do that. But just be glad that you're not seeing the ads. So don't ever put down the people who are spending the money, because they're the ones who are keeping you from having to watch ads every 5 minutes. That's one of the things that gets me to quit games very quickly. Is when I every time I do a battle or something, they throw, here, watch this 30-second ad. It's like, uninstall. So Vincent Cuomo asks, will Hoist ever be added? Probably not. I'm gonna go with the. I would love it, but probably going to go with the same opinion as what I said for Sentinel Prime early. We haven't seen Hoist in a while. He had his moment in the sun a few years ago when he had that toy come out, and he had a spotlight comic devoted just to Hoist. But we haven't seen a whole lot from him from there. So Gregory Miller asks how to join an alliance. Okay, well, first you have to get your headquarters to level 4. Let's go ahead and jump back over here to the stream. So first you got to get to a headquarters level 4. So if you haven't had that yet, you won't have this little button over here to the bottom right. See where it says alliance? I don't think that's there for you until you get level 4. And if you do, you actually hit it. And when you do, well, see, I'm in alliance, so it actually takes me to the alliance headquarters. But if you weren't in alliance, it would give you 2 options. It gives you an option to join an alliance, where it takes you to a place where it'll give you some options, or if you know an alliance you want to look for, you can actually type in the name and search it, or you can start an alliance of your own, and it costs 15,000 alloy to start an alliance. So, but you're almost always better off looking for an existing alliance, especially if you're first starting out, because it can be hard to recruit new players to your alliance. Alright. Ooh, Cowboy Transformer says he's ready for Victorion. He's got all 6. Yeah, now that I'm seeing that, I'm going to have to start chasing the 4-star Rust Dust along with the 4-star Snarl. That's the only one I'm missing for Victorion. Where's Forged to Fight? Oh, it's in the uninstall bin. Well, not really. I still have it. I played it a couple days ago. I'm still not a big fan of it. I know you guys like Forged to Fight, and it's great graphics. It's just not my thing. So, who's my favorite con? Matt Fabian says. Who is my favorite? Tarn. I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. Tarn. He's kind of new, but Tarn is great. So, all right. So, Tyler YT says he's in and out. Yeah, it looks like the video might be a little bad right now, so that's okay. So we're getting on a little bit, and I'm going to start signing off here. Jeremy Plays says, you can voice Follow Cybertron, Starscream, Bruticus, Brawls, and Combaticons, and Jazz, and a normal Megatron. Very cool. You heard my terrible impressions of them. I hope you could do better than what I do. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. And to end the video, I'm going to go ahead and throw up a subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that so you can see any of my upcoming videos. Hit the notification bell icon to get notifications when I go live or post a new video. There's also going to be a playlist up there. You can watch any of my past Transformers Earth Wars videos, and you can join us on the Non-Toxic Gamers band channel to join in on the discussion. I'm Engineer Hoist. Keep rolling, my friends. Thanks for watching.